Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of I'll Hang Up and Listen. I am Duane, host of Two Goalies, One Mike. Sabres suffer a big 5-3 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, the hated Carolina Hurricanes, a team that we just beat a few short nights ago, 4-3 after a somewhat miraculous comeback. Excuse me. But that's not the only storyline of the night. Obviously, before Buffalo finished out this game, the Michigan Wolverines dropped a overtime game to Denver in the Frozen Four, 3-2, which I guess that officially makes Owen Power watch on. It's on, green lighted, all systems go, waiting for the imminent Owen Power signing to Buffalo, where maybe we even see him making his debut Tuesday night against Toronto. I don't know how realistic that would be, but it's I guess the possibility, depending on how long Kevin Adams waits to have that conversation. You know, you would maybe think that he would want to wait a day or two, let this loss, let yourselves get over this loss. And not to mention Eric Portillo too, also Sabres property. That's a signing that could come as well to get him under contract, because, after next season, if you were to play one more year of college, you could be looking at a Cal Peterson, Jimmy Vesey situation. I don't think that would happen. I've had Eric on Two Goalies One Week before. He seems like a very good kid, excited about being a Buffalo Sabre, much like Devin Levi. But we'll see. I would hope that Kevin Adams can get both of these guys under contract sooner rather than later. But again, just a real heartbreaker for both teams tonight. And already we got some people here in the comment section. I don't want to blame Anderson. He battled real well, but we really, really, really need a shutdown goalie. I agree. Anderson does battle. He does. And I don't blame him for tonight. There's a lot of blame to go around, and Anderson isn't near the top of my list. He just isn't. A lot of costly turnovers, most notably Cody Eakins' absolute muffin. The pizza he threw up the middle of the ice that got picked off through the air, which led to Carolina's, I believe it was the second goal that really started to get them some momentum going into their 3 unanswered goals to eventually win. Actually, technically 4 unanswered goals if you count the empty netter. Also from Captain Ahab on YouTube. If Power and Quinn and Paterka were in this game and we had a fast forward to next season, it would have been a much different outcome. I agree. Again, I'm not going to take anything away from this team, though. They play hard. They play so hard. Again, there is a disparity in talent, a lack of talent compared to the competitor most nights. And sometimes you see that. Bad decisions lead to costly goals, and that's what happened tonight. I don't know the numbers offhand, but the turnovers are probably very, very lopsided tonight, especially into the defensive zone. Paramount Pictures, they honestly just seem to run out of gas in the third. Also a possibility. Again, they're professional hockey players. I mean, some of those fit athletes in the world. Not really an excuse for me. Again, but that's just my opinion. And then also from Captain Ahab, the Canes pushback was not answered by the Sabres in the third. 100% agree. Also, you guys are really popping off. All right. Could we see Power in the AHL playoffs he signed? I don't think he goes to Rochester. I think he goes straight to Buffalo. I think without question, you wouldn't see Owen Powers play a single game in the AHL for the Rochester Americans. Just my opinion. But yeah, again, not a good night for Buffalo hockey. Me personally, I wanted to see Michigan advance and play Saturday. I know selfishly a lot of Sabres fans out there wanted them to lose because you want to see Owen Power here earlier rather than later. For me, you want these guys to really feel what it's like to play in those high-pressure situations, in those high-pressure moments, the only moments you can get from a game like a Frozen Four final or the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's, just see how they can handle themselves, teach them that now so that we're more prepared for it when that time does come in the NHL or in the AHL, whenever that might be. For me, that's just, a no-brainer. That's where I would want them. I would want them gaining that experience now, which is why I'm happy a lot of these kids like Quinn, Paterka, and, UPL are down in Rochester trying to battle for the playoffs in the AHL because, again, those are playoff games experience that they're going to need right now so that when the time does come at the NHL level, they've actually experienced high-pressure playoff hockey. That's what I want to see these kids go through at this point in their career. Again, had Michigan won tonight and we miss out on 2 or 3 games of Owen Power, whatever, man. Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal to me. I would rather him get that experience of playing in that game and help that, further along his development rather than maybe 2 or 3. I don't want to call them meaningless games, but they're meaningless games. Sabres are mathematically eliminated for the playoffs as of yesterday with that Washington win. So again, for me, it's, let them win a national title in Michigan, which obviously that won't happen now. So maybe we do see Austin Power in a Buffalo uniform come this Tuesday against the hated Toronto Maple Leafs. Everyone knows how much I hate them. Thoughts on Ryan Johnson coming out? I don't know. He's had a very up and down season. I like his play, but part of me, because of we already have plenty of left-handed defensemen. I just feel that maybe he could be a guy that doesn't get brought in right away, or maybe even as part of a trade to bring in the right, a defenseman that could play alongside Owen Power. Maybe he's part of that deal. I don't know. I'm not saying I want Ryan Johnson traded, but I just think that the need for a left-handed defenseman isn't as big right now. And maybe he's an AHL guy. I don't know. We'll see. I like his game. I liked how he's come along. Again, I think that there was a little bit more left to be desired this season, but I hope we do see him someday in a Buffalo uniform because I do like his style of play. I do like his game. He just needs to develop more for sure. I see your point in high pressure games. We don't want to be Toronto now, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't, because that is a team that doesn't know how to handle pressure. You are absolutely right, Matt. Real quick, just to I got the box score here for tonight's game. Again, it wasn't pretty. Buffalo obviously having the early 2-0 lead. Off Tage Thompson getting his 32nd goal of the season. Guy has just been on an absolute tear. And then also it was Alex Tuch getting in a goal. Both Alex Tuch and Tage Thompson with goals and assists tonight. Jeff Skinner with 2 apples. Casey Middlestat with an assist. I think that was on the Tuch goal, which is a very, very, very nice. Threw it out in front. And again, great. I tweeted earlier, great things happen when you put pucks to the net. And that's what happened there for Alex Tuch. He went to the net. Jeff Skinner found him there. But just by throwing the puck to the front, and it ended up being in the back of the net. Matthias Samuelsson with an assist, and Victor Olofsson continuous in, I guess, his hot streak with another goal of the night. So, again, Craig Anderson wasn't at his best tonight. 27 saves on 31 shots against. I think there was one of those he probably would have wanted back. You can't really put that you can go on him because, I mean, that's just inexcusable. Hockey 101. When you're behind your own goal line or even in the corner, you never, ever, ever send pizzas up the middle of the ice, and exactly what he did. Ends up in the back of Buffalo's net. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking there. That's just straight stupidity. Like, at least skate it out a little bit, and again, I just just bad. I get what he was trying to do there, but never up the middle of the ice, man. Never, ever, 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 ever up the middle of the ice. That's just boneheaded. Carolina goals today. Aho with 2 goals. Jarvis with 2 apples. Jordan Stahl with 2 goals, including the empty netter at the end. Mr. Snepchikov. I hate saying his last name. With 2 apples. Fast with an apple, and Pescier with an assist, and Teravainen with a goal. And then you had Antti Ranta with 18 saves on 21 shots against Buffalo. Just really wasn't pressuring offensively as much as you have liked, especially the way they were in the first period when they were up 2-0. Again, this is just a classic example of playing against a more skilled team. And I would love to say that, hard work will always win when hard work is willing to work and talent isn't willing to work. Not saying that, Carolina wasn't willing to work tonight. Clearly they were, but they're just a more talented hockey team. Defensively, they're so good defensively. They're playing on a team like Carolina is a goaltender's wet dream, because it's like, you look at goaltenders that have been there, Freddie Anderson, all the criticism he took in Toronto, the seasons he's having in Carolina. It's a very defensively disciplined hockey team, but also a team that can score on demand. They're fun to watch. They really are. But Rod Brindamore has a very sound system defensively in Carolina, and they're a tough team to score against. And I think you've seen that with Nedeljkovic, who was traded to Detroit. He has had his struggles with the Detroit Red Wings this season. I think that's a classic example. You saw him leave. You saw Peter Mrazek leave, and they're struggling. I guess this system almost glorifies goaltending, puts it up maybe on a bit of a pedestal, where because you're really limiting high danger chances in Rod Brindamore's system, and it helps out goaltenders a lot. Absolutely it does. So, you wish you kind of had that type of mentality here in Buffalo, where you could have the best of both worlds, where you could score and play well defensively. We're just not there yet. And Carolina's system is the goalie's best friend, hands down, right next to the post and crossbar. I'm from Amanda C. Victor Olofsson is back. Yeah, it looks like it. Again, I've pretty been outspoken about him, wanting to possibly deal him, make a deal for him to bring in more assets, or maybe a part of a bigger deal to bring in like a defenseman to play with an Owen Power, or for maybe a first round pick or high end picks. Just because I just feel like he's a very perimeter shooter. He's not a guy who can be depended on to play a great 200-foot game. He doesn't score goals the way you see Jeff Skinner scoring goals. He kind of does drive-bys in front of the net. He doesn't get engaged, which really bugs me. But if he's still, with him being an RFA, it's going to be a situation where he's going to be expected to get paid, especially with how he's scoring now. And I'm not really willing to pay a guy, the amount of money he might get in free agency if it's around $5 million or more, because it very well could be if he's between like 4.5 to 5.5. It very well could be something like that. And I have trouble fitting him into the top 6. I really do. Jack Quinn's going to be here. Do you value Jack Quinn, or do you value Victor Olofsson more? I value Jack Quinn, because I think maybe Jack Quinn doesn't have as dangerous of a shot or as dangerous as a release, as dangerous of a release as a Victor Olofsson, but he does the same things that Victor Olofsson can do, maybe not as well, but he also plays a more defensively sound game, and he plays all over the ice. Like he's not going to just be good from one spot the majority of the time. You can depend on him in other areas of the ice. So for me, once Jack Quinn gets here, that's kind of his spot, right? He's shown he can play that side where Victor Olofsson tends to sit. So unless Victor Olofsson is willing to be a bottom 6 guy and not get paid what I think he's going to get paid, it's tough for me to find a spot for him on this team for that price tag. I mean, I could be wrong. Like, I am totally fine with Victor Olofsson being on this hockey team next year, but just really thinking of this lineup, in the future, next season, I just don't see him fitting into the top 6. I just don't. That's just me. From Chris Dirk, tough loss. Sorry for Owen Power. Him and his teammates fought hard. All I can do is keep fighting and moving forward. Go Sabres. 100%, Chris. Eakin can't keep a place in this team by winning faceoffs. He has to make a better play in a tight game. 100%. Power of the Force. I love it, Matt. I absolutely love it. Power of the Force. Got it. You have to love it. Feel the power. Hashtag New Day there. But again, just a tough night for Buffalo hockey. From start to finish, from yesterday being mathematically limited from the playoffs. Then you come into, today with Michigan playing Denver and losing in overtime. Also very difficult. And then obviously the loss to Carolina ending their point. I'm not sure was their point streak already over with before then. I don't know. I don't know if their point streak ended tonight or if they had ended a game before that. I want to say it was still going. But the Sabres had an unbelievable March and start to April. So, I mean, how can you be disappointed in this hockey team? I mean, I'm seeing Sabres fans saying, I wish the season wouldn't end. How often are we normally checked out come, March and April? And you have fans that just don't want the season to end. And I'm one of them. I don't want the season to end. It's been a lot of fun to watch these kids develop and perform and really start to take this seriously. And how much this means to us, the fans. Let me see here. Looking at the rest of their schedule, they have the Panthers tomorrow, Florida Panthers tomorrow at 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, the Lightning at 5. So, it's a tough road trip. You go Panthers, Lightning, and then Tuesday you have the Toronto Maple Leafs, which that could be a game where maybe you see Owen Power make his debut. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I personally don't see it being any earlier than that. And then the following week, Thursday, the Sabres return home against the Blues and then host the Flyers on Saturday, April 16th. Tough schedule, these next 3 games. We've seen this team compete against these teams, but it's going to be very, very, very difficult, to get points out of these games. And these are teams that are really playing for position in the playoffs, and playing for home ice advantage, whatever it might be. And they all have something to play for still, whereas Buffalo doesn't. But maybe that's Buffalo's best friend. When you don't have anything to play for, you have nothing to lose. So Sabres can try and play spoiler here for a lot of teams. We'll see what happens. But the next 3 games are very, very, very difficult in terms of matchups between the Florida Panthers, two-time defending Stanley Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning, and then, of course, the hated Toronto Maple Leafs, who we beat in the Heritage Classic outdoor game in Hamilton, where, oddly enough, Buffalo was the home team. So, again, another by the power of Grayskull. Love it. Love it. Big He-Man fan here myself. Right back at it tomorrow night. You think Tokarski will start in goal? Can we bounce back after a tough loss? I think you probably will see Tokarski in goal. I don't know. I have zero faith in that guy. He gives us a game here and there, but against a Florida Panthers team that's so high-powered and dangerous, it's really tough to imagine that Tokarski gives them much of a chance to win. Again, especially with teams that are really jockeying for position in the standings right now, especially with these next 3 games. You still taking orders for the GOAT shirts? Absolutely. Check it out at 39 Designs. We just dropped our first design, the #GOAT design. It's at 39_designs on Twitter, Instagram. You can find us there, or just follow my page. It's on there as well at Duane S39, as you can see there, my handle, or at 2 Goalies on Mike. I promote it from all my handles. Definitely, it's a cool design. I'm pretty proud of it, and I dropped a tweet on it earlier, so you can go check out our handles and you'll see them there. So with that being said, guys, we're getting close to 11 o'clock here tonight. As you can see, I have my robe on. Was supporting the Michigan Wolverines tonight on the hat, the shirt. Again, tough loss. It's fun to think where Owen Power would fit in with this lineup. Who comes out of the lineup? Does it a Mark Pysyk? Is it a Fitzgerald? Like I don't know who it would be that would come out of the lineup, but I am super excited to have Buffalo debut Owen Power, especially against a team like Toronto. How fun would that be? I hope that would be an RJ game. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys know it in the comments is if that would be an RJ game, but just to speculate where he would fit in the lineup, who would be paired with. It's a lot of fun, man. He had a phenomenal season. Hobie Baker, Hobie Baker level season, but unfortunately, I think with him going to the Olympics, it really did hurt his chances. You saw even Devin Levi get snubbed on even being nominated for the Hobie Baker, which I think is an absolutely criminal with the season he had in net for Northeastern. We just actually had Devin on with episode 93 of Two Goalies, One Mike, Devin Levi and Justin Ritzkoian. Absolute amazing episode. Make sure you go check it out on our channel at Two Goalies, One Mike on YouTube or Twitter, Instagram, whatever. You can find us all. Just check the bios and all my social media handles. The link will send you right where to go and subscribe. Devin was an absolute, a blast to have on. Seems very excited to be a Buffalo Sabre at some point. When I was texting with him, he says he can't wait to be a member of Bill's Mafia, which is pretty cool. But again, thanks out a couple clicks for Devin and the season Northeastern have. Couple clicks for Owen Power and Eric Portillo for that. I know it was 1-1 in that Minnesota game to get to the final in the Frozen Four. I'm not sure what the score is right now, but last time I looked before I go in live with you guys, it was tied at 1 in the later NCAA game. So, maybe we'll see Aaron Huglin in the finals there, another Buffalo Sabres prospect. Kid is having a decent year as a freshman, and excited to see what he could bring to the table. Also, a former guest of Two Goalies, One Mike. Really good kid, really smart kid. Definitely a player to keep an eye on the next couple of years. I would hope that at some point Sabres give him a look. If it's not next year, then the year following, whether it's in Rochester or in the big club. Very, very skilled, highly skilled player with a great shot, great release. And very, very good skater. So we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, just thinking just to where Owen Power would fit in. Eric Portillo, I imagine, would go straight to Rochester. Unless they do want to give him games up here in Buffalo, to back up Craig. Maybe he gets a start or two. I don't know. I don't know if it would really hurt his development at the end of the season. If you think about it, he had an unbelievable year with Michigan. I think he posted over 30 wins with a .926 save percentage. Like, I know the hype has really surrounded Devin Levi because he was having jaw-dropping numbers, but Eric Portillo had himself a year too. Great kid. Actually, I'll just bring up their numbers right now for you all. I'll give you one moment here, and I will bring up both Owen Power and Eric Portillo's numbers. I'll check their elite prospects page here. There we go. Find the search bar. Sorry, this is very, very professional, everybody. Let's go. Let's see here. Or not. Anyways, while I do that, again, very, very exciting to just imagine that Owen Power could make his debut in a Sabres uniform this coming Tuesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. This, for whatever reason, this is running extremely slow. Okay, here we go. Eric Portillo's numbers this season, according to Elite Prospects, he started 41 games. They went 31-9-1 with a .926 save percentage and .213 goals against, compared to his previous season with Michigan, where he backed up Man Strauss. 7 games played, went 4-1 with a .935 save percentage and a .167 goals against. Obviously, a much smaller sample size, but listen, I think this kid is the real deal. He sits at 6'6". Native of Sweden, and just a very, very, very athletic goaltender. Gives a rebound here from time to time here and there, but a lot of goalies do. But a lot of games I watched on him this season, I mean, I know tonight he was a little tough with the rebounds. I don't put the game on him at all. I thought there was a lot of defensive lapses in his own end that caused those goals. But normally he does eat pucks quite a bit. Tonight he struggled with the rebounds a little bit. But I thought he played a great game tonight. Definitely not on him without a doubt. But I've watched him a lot this year, and he is a very mechanically, fundamentally sound goaltender, and I'm excited for him to possibly be part of the fold if Buffalo does decide to bring him in. And then obviously Owen Power, Olympian Owen Power this year, playing for Team Canada, even though I don't believe they medaled, had a great year this year with the Michigan Wolverines. 32 games played, 3 goals, 29 assists. Again, him going to the Olympics did hurt his case at the Hobey Baker, in my opinion. Was a plus 12. And for Team Canada in the Olympic Games, only posted 1 point in 5 games, got an assist. Was a very defensively sound player. And it's easy to understand the appeal of Power. He's 6'6", and he's just a phenomenal skater. And it's tough to find that combination of skill and size and skating ability in a player like that. But I think any questions you had on Owen Power and his ability to play at the NHL level, those are really answered this season with how much he dominated at the college level, how well he played in the Olympics, how well he played in the World Championships the season before, where he really kind of played with men for the first time. A lot of former NHLers, current NHLers. So I think a lot of those answers were really all those questions were really answered for the first overall pick made by Buffalo. And I'm very, 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 very excited. He's a left-handed shot, so you just got to pair him with a right-handed defenseman. In my opinion, it's going to be very stay-at-home. It's going to play a very I don't want to say cautious, but very disciplined defensive style, stay-at-home defenseman. And that's where what I think you need for Owen Power next season. I hope Kevin Adams finds that, whether it's at trade, free agency. Josh Manson's a name that was thrown around. I like the idea of bringing him to play alongside Owen Power, a guy who plays a really rough style, where if he sees the night that at that point he'll be 20 years old, I think, taking a beating or, being taken advantage of, even though it's hard to imagine a kid 6'6", 214 pounds as he sits right now. You can only imagine he's going to put on more weight in the offseason. But hard to imagine a kid like him getting taken advantage of, but a big guy who can go out there and play with him, that could really make him feel comfortable and maybe allow him to have a little bit of a leash to play his game, both defensively and offensively. And, knowing that you have that guy opposite of you, where if you do make that mistake, that, he's going to help you cover up for it. It's only going to help his game. And you see a lot of teams do that when you bring in a young defenseman at his age. You always want to bring a veteran defenseman along, to pair with them, just to really help build their confidence. I know on the podcast After the Whistle, Craig Rivet said he had that responsibility many times over when he got into his veteran years, deep into his veteran years. He played that part quite a few times for many young defensemen. So I think that's very, very important for Kevin Adams to do. Find the correct right-handed defenseman to play alongside Owen Power, whoever that might be. And again, it's Owen Power watches on, man. It's 10:55 right now. We'll see when he does sign. All signs point to him signing with the Buffalo Sabres in the coming days. It's pretty imminent. Reported by Elliot Freeman. I've talked to some people that I know out of Michigan, and they all seem to think that is pretty imminent as well. So I'm excited. But with that being said, guys, again, it's getting close to 11 o'clock. So I will bid you all adieu. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night, catch some Z's, and we will see you tomorrow night for the Buffalo Sabres versus Florida Panthers game. Hopefully we're talking about a win and not another loss. And just remember, this is brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. And, I will hang up and listen. Good night now, and let's go Sabres.